it's me. Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another point-and-click adventure by yours truly. If you've seen my past runs of various Daedalic point-and-click games, you know that I'll fully focus on the run and main commentary will be done by somebody else. In this case, my fantastic friend, Kadarev.
Hi.
Hi.
That I'll try my best, but I will probably run out of things to say 2 minutes in, so you will have 10 minutes of uninterrupted silence.
Self-fulfilling prophecy is... Okay, so the time button is on the couch, so let's start a new game in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, so as Toka said, in point-and-click games like this, usually there is little to no RNG, and it's like fully dependent on mouse movement, execution, and memorization of everything. And as you can see, what you rather shouldn't see is pretty much anything that you would see in casual play, because you can see the dialogues are vanishing very quickly, and you also don't really get to see too much of the puzzles. What you can't see is what Toka's kind of left hand is doing, so he's basically constantly hovering over either escape or the K key, which are the only two keys he really needs. And the main key is the escape key, which allows him to skip various animations and dialogue options. So the main goal of the speedrun is to cut down on as many animations as possible. You will sometimes see Anna teleport around the room, which obviously is not what you would usually see in a casual playthrough, but there are various techniques that allow you to do that. You technically should never see the main menu open, but that might happen from time to time, since, as I said, escape is used to cancel animations, but if you press it for too long or press it at the wrong time, you might accidentally open the main menu. So one way to cut down on so there are basically, when you have your cursor over certain objects, you kind of have two actions you can do. You can either interact with it, or you can observe or inspect whatever you're hovering over. And what you're looking for is kind of for the mouse cursor or these symbols to disappear, because that kind of shows you that you're in an animation that can be skipped with the escape key, which then will allow you to teleport. And that's, as I said, the main thing you want to do is to cut down on as much animation, or as many animations you would. Yeah, that's usually the reaction you will get when you see the main menu, because instant regret of whatever you did. Okay. So what we can also do, you can see, or maybe you've seen so far, whenever we walk, that's rather slow, so you want to avoid that, but that's not always possible. But one thing you can do while walking is already bring up your inventory, and that allows you kind of to prepare stuff, because like Anna will still walk while the inventory is open. But what it also does is kind of prevents her from then talking or interacting with whatever you pointed her at. In this level, so you can see in this kind of town square, we have multiple signs or arrows, which kind of are like shortcuts. So this is kind of the central hub of this world, and from here on you can go to various side areas like the mill, as we were here, or other areas. And you can go there by like going to the edge of the screen and clicking on the exit. But you can also just click on the signs, which are a very handy shortcut to not only get to whatever destination you want to go to quickly, but it also kind of allows you to do certain teleports if you want to, because it's still faster to teleport to a different location and then immediately go back to the town square, which will have you end up closer to where you want to get than to still like walk over there. So this is like the main, one of the main gimmicks of this world, or this chapter rather.
Holding escape, very nice.
Yeah, so that's interesting you should mention that, yeah. So not only can we skip animations or stuff like that by clicking escape, it's actually, you can hold down escape for good animation. It's especially visible during these dialogues, where Toka will basically just hold down escape and then click through the different dialogue options. So there's no need to release escape and then click it again. It would be necessary, as far as I understand, on the most recent patched version, where like most of these like speed texts were removed for one reason or another. But yeah, that's not what we're playing on, so we still can do that. And yeah, here just some more nice teleports using the town square. And yeah, something about a story where Anna gets abducted by a witch and then escapes and stuff. And she has telekinesis, which is you can see in the lower left, this kind of brain symbol, which is like the only real power you have. And that's used in certain puzzles. But you don't really get to see it too much because, yeah, those animations we can skip as well. And as is also rather common with point-and-click games like this, is that the more you play, the more you memorize. Like, for example, the inventory slots. And since you always do the same thing, your inventory will always have like the same items in the same places. So you can use that already to kind of prepare your mouse cursor in advance for certain things, or you know exactly where to go. And obviously that allows you to speed up certain things as well, unless you then sometimes misclick, and that can completely derail entire sections. You may have seen very briefly another very interesting feature in this game is that certain puzzles you can just skip because you don't really care. And in this case, you may have seen Toca hovering already over a certain like part of the dragon's head, because by the camera moving upwards, the cursor then ended up hovering over the rocks, which he then needed to interact with afterwards. But yeah, so certain puzzles you don't have to do. If you don't want to, you can just straight skip over them. And yeah, now we're kind of in hell, I guess. Literally.
You okay, buddy?
Just describing what I'm seeing. Yeah, so as far as I know, the witch, which turns out to be kind of the queen soon to be, doesn't like that Anna is meddling with her affairs, and now she's been banished to hell. And we need to gather some ingredients with various techniques. Don't mind the big guillotine and the guy named Execution. I'm sure everything is okay.
What do you mean guillotine? It's a melon splitter.
Yeah, clearly. No, I actually didn't. Now I saw it. Yes. And yeah, so these bears, clearly they're in desperate need of help, and we will just use them to gain some more ingredients later on, or not ingredients, but items we need, and just leave them to their fate.
Thanks for the honey.
Yeah, so this previous room was a good example of like how small misclick or like small deviation from your intended target with the mouse cursor can have some pretty bad effects. So you may have seen in the distance, you saw the 3 cages with the bears. If you're somewhat in the center of that, you can inspect them, and if you're somewhat off the center, you go there. And yeah, obviously, if like one misclick there or something like that, and you get the same reaction.
Bro, this is not how this room works. That's bullshit.
Just normal point and click stuff.
There's one thing with like one thing where it can be too fast for the game, and the mouse cursor thing. Could you explain that real quick?
Yeah, so you can see like usually the mouse cursor is like just solid and the symbols, but sometimes you will see it blink quickly. And basically you need to kind of wait out until that blinking like stops before you can interact with whatever you want to. Before that it doesn't really work. I mean, you can do it if you're like super task quick, but we're not at that level yet. Also, bears get their honey back, I guess, but we get the release papers. That works. Also, there's a water dispenser in hell, I guess.
Stay hydrated. Okay, another instance of holding escape here, by the way.
And he had some jam on his face. I don't know. Yeah. So here, this would have been one of the instances where we used telekinesis to get the spike down. And in this specific level or world or whatever you want to call it, yeah. So this thing I mentioned earlier, where you kind of have the menu open to move around, is very useful because, like, as you can see, this is a very stretched out main screen right now, and as you can see, walking is very slow. So, like, movement skips or teleports in this level are very potent and very sought after. And right now, we kind of have to visit all of these different side rooms to progress the story or make new characters appear. Meanwhile, we obviously also want to collect certain items, but yeah, we kind of go through all of these side rooms right now. Okay, now we have the Jester, and kind of use her to cause some chaos. Now she's juggling with tomatoes, which definitely will not come in handy later on. We now need to distract or make it so that the
what a yummy bird here.
who can't see the animal theft going on in the bird cage. So
That was my mistake. I didn't click the thing.
And all of a sudden she had a red face. I'm sure the tomatoes didn't play into that. Things are happening. It's an interesting bird you have there in your inventory. Yeah, that's a bird, and now it's a different bird. Yes, that makes sense.
Why does the term blackfacing come from? Anyway.
And since it looks exactly the same as this bird, you can easily swap
swap
it, and nobody will know. Yes. And all this time, the chef is still here. Ah, perfect, yes. And yeah, so the teddy bear to the right is actually a friend, I guess, who got kind of enchanted or, yeah, turned into this teddy bear. Plot stuff. And now we need to, yeah, kind of leave. Slowly. Yeah, so this was another instance of, like, preparing your mouse. Obviously, when you move to the right, you want to talk to the fox, and he's always in the same spot, so you kind of just hover there and start mashing, and it should trigger him as early as possible, except when it doesn't.
Yeah, like the mouse is, the fox is always in the same spot, but the camera isn't. It depends on how far you walk. So it's a bit, not random by any means. It's just
It's
not super consistent.
not consistent. Yeah, exactly. But making progress. All right.
Here another instance of walking while preparing whatever items I need to interact with something else. Okay.
And more holding escape. Yep. And that should be the last chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So this is kind of past something. I don't even know.
Yeah, this is
not
the main.
same.
This is the main villainess as a child.
Yeah,
We learn her origin story
exactly.
and why she's a bitch.
Witch.
Witch. Sorry,
Witch,
it's
yes,
yeah.
Easy mistake
Slip
to
of
make.
tongue.
Yeah. So yeah, not much more to
Save the
say. I
bees.
think you can just take in some more point-and-click action.
At this point, it's like 1 more minute and then we're done. If for whatever reason this animation here cannot be skipped, so we always hear him say, Not the smartest cup in the bucket or whatever. No, and that's a sad boy now. I get it. I don't get it. Anyway.
Here, have this.
Okay. Getting very close on time. Hope the couch is ready. And time.
No more of this not talking game. Tell me where you saw
This went way better than expected, I have to say that.
Good job.
So I finished D-Rust, like relearning the run like 2 hours ago. Yeah, that's cool. So thank you very much, Kelly, for the commentary. As you're well aware, also as a point-and-click runner,
Of course,
it
yes.
very much helps to have somebody else do the talking.
Yes.
And yeah, thanks for watching. Special greetings to my mom, who's watching this at home. So, hi. I'm playing video games fast. This is my hobby. Hope you're proud of me. And yeah, thanks to everybody. And next up is another run. I'll go to bed now.
Alright, thank you very much, Toka, for that run. Coming up next is Exodus from the Earth by Harris 5K. We're going into a little bit of a setup break, so we will be right back with Set Game. Don't go anywhere.